Hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you, wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. Alright, so it's been a whole bunch of stuff going on, y'all. I'll give y'all the highlights for the most part. Uh, ultimately, mm, um, realistically, I've just been doing my typical thing. But what really kind of pulled me on here was the attempts, right, over these past couple days that I recognized to recreate what would constitute as what we all know as past negative nostalgia, right? um, but it was an attempt to recreate it. However, through the alchemicalization of things, it really turned out to be a clearing out of that and a recognition full on of it. Uh, I talk about the readings you watch. Talk about the readings you watch. I watched a few of them, but I kind of got tired of watching them because it was one of those. Okay, I didn't seen all this happen before. Most of the readings it was that had came into place took place last year, and with them it about to repeat, I was like, no, we not doing this. We not doing this. Y'all not finna do all that loop around and spin the block. I don't know about you, but I ain't the type to spin the block. If the block has already been spent, there's no point in doing it all over again. So it's that part. The other portion of it is with Juneteenth celebrations. I'll talk about it briefly, but it was third party situations a few years ago, and it was known by everybody what the details of some situations were. And my girls, in short, it's one of those when you're a mom and your daughters see that you getting played, and people have a tendency to believe that children don't pick up on that. I used to talk about it a lot in my readings, right? And within me talking about it in my readings, it was like they intentionally reenacted what their past life problem was, opposed to acknowledging what it is that what needs to be done to actually fix it. And the expectation for me in those moments was that I was the problem and I was the one who was supposed to fix it. And initially, right? Initially, yeah, because you don't bring no another chick in a woman's hood. Even if y'all friends, whatever situationship, I don't give a damn what it is, twin flame and all that other bullshit that y'all be talking to right off the fuckery and fuck right it is that would be going on, right? Ultimately though, I just heard you had a problem with it. I had a huge problem with it. Why the fuck would you ask that question? You hadn't anchored nothing with me, but you on a date, and that's a form of a commitment. But you can't commit an hour to sitting down and talking and going over stuff. That's pretty much the issue. Yeah, the Masons, I seen them. I seen one of them and I identified them. Yeah, I let them know right off the bat. The other thing was, it was a lot of people. One of the things that was coming to me in regards to the Mason aspect, and I hope this clarifies a few things for y'all. Okay, Cynthia X Blue Rain, she was with Jeremy. I don't know who the Jeremy person is. I don't know his last name. I just know that she was with Jeremy, and Jeremy had already, for lack of a better phrase, and punked her out of her car. So he thought he was gonna punk me out of my van. This is when I had initially encountered her, right? And she is a Libra, right? And I told her everything it was that she would have needed to do in order to realistically shift and change a lot of the situations in her life. She intentionally decided to go against it. She made a conscious choice to go against it. Outside of that, though, he was trying to punk me out of my van so that they could do some initiations, and he only wanted to pay me like $30, $40 to use my van for a week. It's one of those motherfuckers. That's crackhead prices. One, two. My van gonna need, yeah, it needs more than just gas. It needs oil. You need to make sure you check the temperature in it. Yeah, I ensure I take care of my vehicles. And they felt some type of way. So I'm thinking that's the initiate of the bullshit. It is. I wouldn't doubt that it would be. And in addition to that, I turned Cynthia down for wanting to be a third party with her and Jeremy. So she felt some type of way about that. Um, I'm in regards to it because she's a woman and I'm a woman and he's a feeling sign. And it's one of those. I'm not gonna be nobody's hoe. And he got mad at me because of that. And I kept telling him, you don't have to, you don't have to open my door for me. You need to make sure you open the door for her because that's the person you laying down with. I appreciate the respect, right? But you're not finna respect me and disrespect the person that you putting your dick in. So it was that part. And the other part of it was I got to the root of when it started. It was when I lost, or I didn't lose it, my kids, right? They had lost the food stamp card. Now the problem that comes into place with this, right? This whole situation is when I enlisted Cynthia, ex Blue Range Hours, to do my book cover, she intentionally went against what I wanted as my book cover. But because she was doing the work and she was only charging me $75, it's one of those. I know for a book cover, it costs more than that. So I'm going, to make up the difference of it, I'll go ahead and, yeah, I'll go ahead. It was payment and trade and exchange. Yeah, yeah, she knew that though. She knew that. And sure, the biggest thing that keep coming up that she was supposed to be, and everybody who was involved in that particular situation was supposed to uh, acknowledge was that she hadn't been healed from being raped by a deacon at her church. Y'all thought I forgot? No, I remember everything. I told you, you ain't gonna make me forget. And I had let her know, even throughout the years when she would be doing spell work and shit on me and I'd pop up. Yeah, because I blocked her ass. Because I got tired of it. It's one of those, ain't nobody got to deal with that, with your weird shit. And then she made some sort of quote unquote potion that was supposed to make me pull to her and all this other stuff. She got mad because I broke that shit too. Her and her cousin Olivia and quite a few other people. I heard, thank you. You're welcome. And so what ended up happening was over the years, right? Initially with Cynthia, I did give her the $75 that she said she wanted. And also since we were in the process of building a relationship, I had picked her kids up for her, and I took them to Books and Breakfast a couple times. And then, yeah, to give her some time off because I know, right, what it's like to be overwhelmed as a mom. And especially if you're sexually active, sneaking and fucking, it only goes so far. And then you don't want to make a whole hullabaloo and noise and all this other shit. Yeah, in the house, and it's not a really huge house, so to speak, to where the echoes can get lost in the walls, if you get what I'm saying. So in any event, what ends up taking place is I picked up her kids a couple times, yeah, just to give her a break. Took them to the park, take them to Books and Breakfast, and then I took her to the grocery store. Uh, I heard how much you spent. I want to say I spent like $180, and then after I did that, it was something else. Yeah, because I noticed she would intentionally put herself in bad situations or in tight spaces, and then it would cause problems later on for everybody who would help her. And this is what I mean. Yeah, be put in a financial bind. Like, I felt her energy one time and I called her. And I'm like, what's going on? And she tells me that her daughter is getting, uh, uh, she was getting a tattoo. She needed $100 for her daughter to get a tattoo. She already in the church, one of those. You knew she didn't have that $100 before she sat her ass in that chair. She should have worked for it. She's over the age of 18. See, this is the problem that a lot of people have with me. My kids had jobs at the same age that I did. So they've had their own money. They've had their own finances. They know how to take care of themselves. They are very much so like the tree it is that they fall from. We are very independent in regards to knowing that if we want certain things that are out of budget in the household, we go out and we make our own money for it. And then can't nobody tell you how to spend your money, right? And can't nobody complain about it. So when she told me about it, I was driving and I was doing at the time Heels in Motion. Yeah, she was a part. She was a real big part of the problem because she always wanted me to take her places, but she didn't really want to pay me. And then she tried to tell me, mind you, while I'm driving her around, you should put a tip jar in her. And I looked at her and I put my hand out. I was like, this is my tip jar. In short, yeah, she wants to try and play that manipulation shit. And it's one of those, if you gonna give me the money, just give me the damn money. And it was because of her relationship she had with others and the belief of, her being an Eastern Star that it entitled her to more. It's one of those, my bloodline is, yeah, I already have Eastern Star and Mason and all that stuff. So if I wanted to do it, I would. But that contract isn't for me. That contract was for my great grandmother. Not my great grandmother, my great grandmother. Right? Yeah, and it was a whole bunch of shit that had happened with my great grandmother, Josephine Jones, Josephine Berry, that was problematic and caused a lot of situations to go on in regards to that. Heard you took care of that now though. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But in any event, uh, what the young guy was, I met Mr. BJ Buchanan. I let him know that his initials were inverted of what my initials were. Right? Yeah, it felt good to be able to be out and support them because I know them in real life and I've had a relationship, yeah, a good relationship, friendship, however you want to put it. That's what relationship is, y'all. How you relate to a person on the emotional level. Anyway, um, but yeah, back to the situation with Cynthia and Jeremy. I told her no, I didn't want nothing to do with them. And then in addition to that, the night, one of the nights it was that I had, we all had to perform at it was like a little dating thing or whatever, Chemistry 360. And I had let Cynthia had asked me what it was I did to her because her spell work had been backfiring on her ass. Even then. And then within her spell work backfiring on her ass even then, yeah, she came to me, she asked, and I had told her, I was like, you know what? I like Corey. I want him. And she was like, hmm. So what she did was she took him for herself. Now, I had even told, and he had told me on the energetic level, that he had been intimate with her. Now, my thing was, it was like, oh, okay, well, if you've been intimate with her, who hasn't been intimate with her? Because everybody, yeah, she does a lot of, I don't know if it's love magic or whatever the fuck it is, but she doesn't treat people good when she does it on them. Yeah, it's like she tries to make them her stoolie, and she's not emotionally capable enough to handle it, right? Yeah, Aphrodite complex comes into place a lot with her. That's the reason why I pretty much stayed away from her for the most part. Everybody knew that though. I didn't hate her. I just knew that she wasn't the person that was really in my corner. That's not no big surprise. That shouldn't be no big secret. I've been saying that shit for years. The people who have been watching on a continuous basis, I have, yeah. The people who've been watching on a continuous basis already know that. So it is no question of it. That's why I made the post I made. Y'all up here playing games and trying. It's either y'all playing games or you're doing the energetic work, so to speak, right? to address what's going on, and the mental aspect is what's coming out. Either way it go, I don't like it because I told you bastards clear that shit out fucking 4 or 5 years ago, and nobody wanted to listen to me. So if you're getting your ass handed to you now, this is the reason why I care, and I care too much. That's why I can't help you, because caring too much for you, after me doing all that good stuff for her, she turns around and want to do the hexing and cursing and sabotaging and all this other shit. Not to forget to mention, yeah, the fuck right that came into place with her and going down to Atlanta. Her and Jeremy, she went down to Atlanta to go get her son from Arnez J. I want to say it was not Arnez J. Oh, y'all know who I'm talking about. It's not Arnez J though. Dude who was on BET. He was a comedian from St. Louis, and he went down there, and she just got a whole attitude with him. And it's one of those, why are you so upset about what will be going on when you up here on some bullshit any damn way? Yeah, it was a battle of egos and all this other stuff that kept going on. I personally didn't really care for it. That's why I didn't deal with it. But I did. She did owe me $20, and within her owing me 20, 15. Okay, $15. It don't matter. She owed me money, and the way she wanted to pay me back was by me going out with her. Not considering that, okay, yeah, I went on ahead and went along with it just to go ahead and get the shit over with, because I knew after I left that night I wasn't fucking with her no more. Because I don't do nobody playing on my emotions, playing up with my money, playing with my time. So I'm pretty sure she's definitely a person who would have been on some other stuff. Even in regards to that, I let her know I was a healer. I let her know that my higher self name was Noni, and if you when you look it up, it's an angel. So again, she knew. If nobody else knew, she knew. It's that part. The other portion of it was when it came to, at that time period, with me talking to Corey, Black. I had let him know, you know, why would you let her tell you what to do when her life is in shambles? I heard, so he knew what was wrong. He knew what was wrong the whole damn time, love. This must be Monty. Hey, Mahi's, how you doing? But yeah, uh, I just heard you're not supposed to be in a relationship with somebody. Are you looking in the mirror? Because whoever it was that made that statement, you're not supposed to be in a relationship with nobody because you too damn busy worried about what somebody else doing when you should have made sure that you trying to figure out how the fuck you supposed to renegotiate your contract with me so I don't cut your ass off. That's what the fuck they worry about. Stop worrying about what the fuck somebody else got going on. Because that's the reason why I don't even like necessarily expressing how I feel about my that person who shared a heart chamber with me. So in any event, uh, my children were affected deeply, greatly, were taken from me because of her fuck shit. And because of his fuck shit, and because they wanted to keep trying to keep this game going. It's one of those, well, you might as well be around us. It's one of those, I don't have to fucking be around you. I can't be around you because my spiritual contract requires for me to be abroad, not a hoe, ABROAD, abroad, all one word. And that's something that was known. So her being a thief and getting fucked up and him getting fucked, I don't give a fuck. Anybody who's connected to him. It's not that I don't give a fuck, it's that I gave at one point too many fucks. So to balance it out now, I can't. I have to, make sure I definitely take care of what's going on with me and my kids. So there's that portion. The other part of it, right, is I have been paying attention to supposedly, the quote unquote supposedly, right? That I'm supposed to be trying to date everybody. I don't have to do nothing that you want me to do. I keep telling y'all that. All they finna do is piss me off, Monty. Money, they finna make me upset. They get your monster finna actually be a monster. I ain't even been a monster yet. They gonna really make me be one, and in any event, yeah, and sure, it's realistically when it boils down to it, back the hell up and back the fuck off. If I'm not talking, if you haven't had the audacity, ball and gall, to email me before now, see, true enough, I had to reach out to Monty, right? I did. But that's because you overly grown motherfuckers who are over the age of 35 plus, you bitches act like you supposed to play the spiritual game and not even email me. Not ensure that you see me first, that you see me. You see me on social media, but you feel like you too high up to actually interact with me as a person, but you want me to help you manifest some stuff. That's ass backwards. And then if I would have sought you out, you would have automatically deemed me as a gold digger. That's the reason why it's like, nah, you motherfuckers done lost your damn mind. I just get it myself. So it's that part. The other part of it is, I was hearing Jesus Walks when I was posting about the pink slip, right? Well, here's the deal that comes into place with it. Yes, Jesus does walk with everybody. Part one. Part two, it's because of men, the toxicity that comes with men, that sensuality is so disrespected, is the word I'm going to use for right now. Has nothing to do with really what the woman is doing, like at all. Just the same, and with one of the conversations with a clout chaser that came through these pods, Herman Simpson. It was because of him. It made me realize that there was an emphasis on what it is women call each other, but y'all not paying attention to what y'all call each other. Again, fix yourself before you try and fix somebody else. Because that's what I do on a very regular basis, right? The other thing that was coming to me before it slips my mind, with Poetic Justice Open Mic, I did participate with that show actively a lot. And the last time I went to go to see Shakespeare in the Park, right? Um, as a performance, it was for a performance. In short, it was for work. And at that time, I was able to obtain a babysitter because my kid, yeah, I didn't really want my kids around that many grown people, and knowing in those performance spaces that it would be a mixture of information. Now, true enough, he had his daughter there with him, right? I went up to sign up, and that was his prime opportunity to introduce me to his child. He did not do that. In addition, he had his. Or if they trying to flip the role and flip the script, they can't flip a script that they didn't even have any idea of what the fuck was going on. B, being too fucking scary to actually act on what it was they was feeling. Everybody kept trying to encourage me to go talk to him when I'm a fucking woman. I'm the woman in the situation, regardless of how my energy comes off. Like a man, I have a coach. I don't have a penis. Pause. Unless you're talking about Bob's. But we not going in. I'm not gonna go into it. But you get what I'm saying. Ultimately, mm, ultimately, what it boiled down to was, um, I performed, and the poem I performed, it was recorded. It had been recorded, and that was right around the same time Yeah, all that swoop and swap and switch and all this other stuff was going on. And at the end of the poem, I said, I'm thankful I found my twin flame, right? Now, even in regards to the whole twin flame aspect, right, setting your intentions out into the universe is what it's really about. It's not going to be about necessarily having to be him alone. He would be, quote unquote, my twin flame because he was a part of my community and an immediate person. But even in that regard, you fucked that up when you decided to listen to another bitch that was attacking me and you helped her. So that's what canceled the contract when you stopped responding and kept doing magic on me. And let us not, please not let us forget. If you look on his page, I want to say Poet Gonya or I Am Corey Black. I don't know what the fuck it is no more. This I'm pulling off of. I heard it's still the same. Okay, you'll see when he does the proposal to that tall chick. Part one, part two, talking about he want to get married and all this other shit. He basically said, "Fuck that contract and fuck you, Fifth. I don't give a fuck about you helping me heal. I don't give a damn about you doing your healing rituals. I don't give a fuck about you helping me with business. I don't give a fuck about you helping me with my daughter. Bitch, fuck you. I don't want you." That's what the reality of it is. Part one, part two, when he stated on that same TikTok page about how ain't nobody healed. No one's healed. No one's doing anything. Basically, no one piques his interest. I've talked to him about all that. So if he's heartbroken, again, I don't. In that regard, I'm not supposed to care. You're not gonna bury me, quote unquote, and then yeah, no, because that was directly towards him. When his ass went to fucking Arizona to meet his family down there. And oddly enough, he gets the support of his family, but I don't get the support of mine in the mirror. Get the fuck out of here. No, we're not doing that. I don't play them types of games with grown people. Everybody is grown here. I nurtured your inner child. I made sure that I would do the protective measures because with Cynthia, her weird ass, she was fucking up because with Kaiser would have his little thing for whoever. So there's that portion. The other part of it is with Christopher Kaiser, right? And his little slew of followers. He know I ain't did nothing with him. Hell, and the repeat of that would be when the little puppy, yeah, she was loving on me, and she gave me the little puppy kiss, and it accidentally got in my mouth, and my mouth broke out. My mouth broke out after that, but it also made me realize, right, that uh, with him, I was intimate with him at one point. I was, but my mouth, yeah, my lips, they turned black every day for 7 days, and it just started peeling the fuck off. I went to the doctor and everything. I ain't have no diseases, but they let me know it was some spiritual shit going on. That was the first time I was like, okay, maybe it was because of something I did. And my little crazy self at the time, I have since graduated from that paradigm, right? Uh, yeah, that was like 15 years ago that happened. 14, 15 years ago that happened. And then I was intimate with him again after that. And my girl parts started breaking out. And it was because of the condom it was that he had used. After that, I was like, not ever again. And he was like, well, I didn't know. It was one of those, I don't give a fuck. This is the second time shit done fucked up. Now I've been intimate with you, sir. You are not nothing that I'm supposed to touch. Maybe we could be cool, but he fucked up being cool because he got jealous. Excuse me. He got jealous of Corey when he ain't had no reason to be jealous of Corey. Part one, part two. I've always been a cheerleader of people. Just period. Right? So for him to say he made me when the reality was I was a support system for him is very hurtful. I'm not a hurt person that hurts people. I'm a hurt person that when you hurt me, I'm gonna heal you by cutting you the hell off from me because obviously I'm doing some sort of detriment to you. So it was that part. The other part of it, with the Shakespeare in the Park situation, I want to say it was like Othello or something that was playing in the park, and I didn't get the opportunity to go back to that function. But luckily, it's coming back around, right? But so it may be something that I will be able to. You will, okay. I'll be able to attend. Hopefully, without all of the drama of the quote unquote supposed, as y'all keep saying, I wasn't the problem at Poetic Justice Open Mic. Every fucking body else having a problem with me was the problem with Poetic Justice Open Mic. Because when you work with a lot of water signs, and I know this to be so because I have water in my chart and I can speak on it, there's a boundary issue that can come into place. When it came to Portia had showed up to my show Fahrenheit. And when she showed up to my show Fahrenheit, she had a whole different attitude. And then very shortly after that, I want to say it was a little bit after the New Year, that she had came back around. It was right before the Cancer Capricorn shift and all of the bullshit started really coming into place. She was trying to show off for Corey, right? And she had brought her boyfriend to propaganda. Pro, at the time when Pro and Shay were together, they were doing different little pop up spots. And what took place was they were holding, I want to say it was a Janet Jackson Aaliyah night, a Janet Jackson night, one of those. And I had by that time told Corey what my name was. And I didn't get the opportunity to explain to him about the domestic violence aspect because I hadn't had an opportunity to sit one on one with him. I'm not gonna talk about a lot of private stuff in front of a group of people, especially when I know yo ho is sitting right behind me with her man. It's about coof and professionalism. Again, had I gotten my hour, a lot of this shit would have been avoided. So blame your boy and blame the girls. So it's that part. And that, yeah, acting like a bit, exactly, having women tendencies. Too many of them men having women tendencies, including the one that call himself flying his way through this bitch. In any event, yeah, want to try and make me beg for something. Boy, get the fuck on some damn where I ain't got to ask you for shit. You came to me, I ain't come to you. You sought me out. Yeah, he pissed me off so much it made me want to review the whole Hebrew Israelite nation. And I'm pretty much on the verge of, just with certain people with other religions. Yeah, because once I find out who the fuck you are, yeah, you motherfuckers better tread lightly. Because once I find out who you are, you fucking with my love life, I'll cut you off my damn self. Trust me, I don't care about that part. It makes me no never mind because you're obviously a problem. Regardless of how much quote unquote money you have or how much quote unquote status you have, you playing these dumbass games and shit and you're not being honest and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So I realistically don't give a shit. That's very unprofessional. And within that lack of professionalism, that shows me that you're not ready for the type of relationship that I am. You think you're gonna be yeah, because a lot of the males I recognize, they're older than me. So I was okay, I don't give a fuck about you being older. You're not that smart, obviously. If you want to play this type of game with a person like me, knowing that we both have spirituality in common. Regardless of what the religion is, you're still spiritual, fool. So it's that part. The other part of it is what do I like about Monty? You know what? He genuinely makes me laugh with a lot of stuff it is that he do. Like I could see the undertones that a lot of people don't necessarily see, and I like that I can identify that. I like his humor. I really do like his humor. Yeah, outside of the way that he looks, I like his drive. I like his ambition. I like the fact that he actively fucking listens. Not it's not it ain't got shit to do with being able to take directions or directives or none of it. Because when he executes it, he does it in his own way, but he reaches the same goal regardless. And in that regard, it helps me in leadership. No, not only in leadership, it does help with that, but it also helps me see things from a different perspective while I'm at that higher vibration, to see the different ways that a person can raise their own vibration and let go of certain things. So that in itself, yeah, that in itself is a blessing all in its own, right? And I appreciate him for being vulnerable in that regard, because the irony that came into place with it, I was vulnerable because I saw how someone else was being, for lack of better phrasing, slaughtered because of their vulnerability. So it activated me to fully step into the healer aspect and allowing myself to be vulnerable as well. Cynthia can tell you, I told her, your vulnerability is your strength. It is not your weakness. I told her that when I was encountering her years and years of fucking ago. Again, people don't like to listen. They want to do that weird shit. Uh, but in any event, okay, I just heard something about somebody saying submit to you. Okay, I submit to you. Oh, really? Yeah, I do. Oh, I'ma really fuck some bitches up there now. Touch me if you want to. Oh, oh, bust a move. Bust a motherfucking move. No, because that's a big trust. That's a big step of trust. That's a huge step of trust. Have mercy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit with that for a while. No, I'm gonna just say just to be used to it. In any event, though, uh, as you, not very many people can control, or not even control, but can influence or impact me to, take a step back and relax enough to get comfortable in a good emotion, right? Yeah, and what that allows for me to do, right, is to shift my essence and actually be okay with being soft. Not, yeah, it's like I don't have to put that wall up then be soft. It's like, okay, I could just be soft. And I appreciate that whenever it happens. Today I did not do, I didn't go out and do what I initially set out that I would do, primarily because ancestors and them told me they ain't did what they supposed to for you. And it's one of those, okay, well that means that I'm not supposed to go. Yeah, no, my ancestors let me know. They see everything, they tell me everything. Period. Y'all thought I was playing when I wrote that letter? Y'all really, you know what I find it real funny? I heard no what? That ultimately, the different books of the Bible are all letters. Everything that is documented started off as a letter. And the fact of, even with me writing that letter initially, there were so many different people who thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. It's the same principle that came into place with me working at Delmar Gardens, and them believing that I wouldn't be able to write out my 2 week notice. They gypped me so much. Lord, they gypped me so much. Um, but yeah, so it's that portion. And what ended up happening, right? To get back on the high vibration, what I like about him, I like his smile. I really do. Because he has a genuine smile and a genuine heart. He not going to smile if he don't want to. And I appreciate a person like that. Me, on the other hand, Yeah, I had to learn how to smile even when I didn't want to, because I had to cover up years of abuse, familial and romantic. So I had to learn how to, make it do. I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. So it's that. Also, I like his gap. I do. I like his gap. I don't care if y'all feel the type of way. I like it. I love it. Yeah, it's so much that I enjoy about him. Um, and even his artistry and the fact that I've seen him grow. Like, he's one of the few people that have reached out to me on an energetic level, and this is why I have such the affinity for him. He's one of the few people who've reached out to me on an energetic level. I've interacted with them, and they have intentionally grown, allow for their spirit to get to a higher plane of existence, regardless of what the quote unquote identification or identifier is. That don't mean shit to me, because that's not a part of my contract to place judgment in that regard. My contract typically deals with how much a person has grown from the time I've come into their life to the time it, and not grown financially, but grown spiritually and as a person. And for me, with like the artistry it is, right, that Monty had been producing, it was one of those, okay, those a whole bunch of pretty words. You got to understand I'm a poet. But those are some pretty words, but are you going to stand on it, and are you going to act on it? Right? And how do you stand on it? How do you act on it? Right? It's the whole learning principles and stuff. And he don't need no learning curve. That's one of the things that I liked about it too. I'm so serious. He didn't need to learn on the curve or on the fly or none of that shit. Yeah, he's very intelligent. I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but it's something about an intelligent man who acts on and in their intelligence, and not on and in the intelligence of what someone else would have presented to them, but how they know how to apply it to what, not only what it is they do, but how they can break it down for themselves, and in his vulnerability, right? Yeah, it allowed for me to find different ways that I can relay the message to him so that he would be able to understand it and apply it in every level. So it's that part. The other thing is, yeah, because I was kind of curious if he had the opportunity to tell a few people about the frequencies. I heard, yeah, I did. Okay, good. Uh, because yeah, because that's something that will really work, and that's what the spiritualist was really supposed to be fucking doing. But y'all let confusion spells get to y'all too much. Willie Lynch, y'all, that's the biggest one that is activated on uh, a molecular level. And it's like y'all like holding on to it, which was very annoying to me personally, but it is what it is. But yeah, so in any event, yeah, no, because the way that it would have been portrayed with the whole situation that just happened, it's one of those. So you gonna disrespect the persons it is that I'm helping and that are helping me, really? And then you think somebody gonna want you to be around? That ain't how that work. That ain't how that work. He wasn't real. Yeah, he wasn't doing. He didn't do shit right. Because if he would have did it right, none of that extra shit would have happened. Like, to no capacity. Yeah, it's the whole trying to be sneaky thing. Don't nobody do. I don't do well with that. In any event, though. No, I'm not finished working. Not just yet. I will be in a little bit though. Uh, I had to reset and recalibrate myself, basically. Because it had dawned on me, right? I'll tell you some of the highlights. Okay, I had well, one of the highlights is my daughter. I didn't necessarily. The funny thing was, I knew it was something that was going on back in May. And that's when I had to reiterate for those people who forgot the lesson that I taught, because I had did it for about a good 4 or 5 months, maybe even 6. That home would be a person. Home is a person. It's not a location. And I didn't ever feel at home with Corey Black. Ever. Pause. That's not true. In the sense of me being abused on a continuum and mistreated, that it was a dysfunctional home. It was. But it wasn't the home that I had created before I met him. Because the home that I created before I met him was already peaceful. Before I met him, I was already moving and shaking. And by the way, one of the things that was bothering me is everybody seemed to have forgotten that I know people everywhere. Like, period. So, me going out and having a drink so that I can sit with my friend who's a bartender and just enjoy music and the crowd and it being put out there. Mind you, at that time, it was me networking for light work and light work, no matter how much I was trying to bury it, because I was still wearing my fucking shirt. I'm out networking, thinking that I'm amongst friends. When the reality is, they just wanted the money from me. And it's one of those, okay, I could just treat your ass like I would Snooks or anybody else. And you claiming that this is supposed to be the way that black businesses run, that means that we don't know how to appreciate our own dollars to no capacity. So ultimately, yeah, I'm out kicking it with people that I'm thinking I'm cool with, and it's good to give money to at the time, because they would have expressed, whether they realize it or not, discomfort and dis-ease. Not saying that they had any ailments in their body, but they didn't feel secure in what it was that they were doing because of what society says is supposed to be constituted as a person's purpose and path. But it was a lot of times that I would go and just kick it with my people. And that's part one. Yeah, because I hadn't had the opportunity to kick it with them and I wouldn't have seen them in years before then. Bates is one of those people. I hadn't had the opportunity to chill and kick it with her for about a good 8-9 years. And I wanted to make up for lost time. I'm allowed to do that because I'm an adult. I'm not your daughter. I'm a 42-year-old grown ass woman. I ain't 18, 19 now, I think. So a lot of y'all, get that ideal set out your mouth and out your head. Y'all, and what I learned most definitely is, especially with this last situation, y'all don't like women. You don't like a grown ass woman. And love is a grown woman business. That is not no little kid shit. I love you, girl. You my heart. You in my heart space too. You in my heart space too. You a piece, and you want to know the difference. You being in my heart space, you want to be in the heart space where I am, not in a heart space all by yourself. That's what I love about it. So there's that. Outside of that, though, me having my baby girl back around me after she's gone on her alchemist journey, right? Yeah, I was so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. And it reminds me of me seeing all my kids go from birth and what would constitute as an unnatural or a supernatural birth, with them being cut from me It's one of those two being full on adults that still want to reach out to me every now and again. Cause when you're a mom, right? The whole that's that whole empty nest syndrome that some of them older women would have been dealing with. That ain't my problem. See, I did a whole at the same time that correlating times. I did special readings that did identify empty nest syndrome, and that would be the reason for a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of those women who were having empty nest syndrome would have been guilty of that whole ideal set of that's my son, that's my man, and they got mad at me because I didn't agree with that. So many of them got mad with me about that. I heard something about mom dating. Oh, okay. I guess. But completely complex is the poem that they got pissed off with me about. And it's one of those, you can be mad all you want to, but are you going to fix what's going on with you so that you can break that generational curse and cycle? Because that links right back to that bullshit game that slave masters used to play with putting bags over our heads and having us fucking our kids. So if you're going to talk about what's real, talk about what's real and how that would be an identifier as a family curse that you would need to break and have healthy relationships with and create healthy boundaries in. It was that. And the other thing that was very bothersome was having people come into my house while they are supposedly in need and taking pictures of me, sending them to wherever after my child got scared or had a nightmare and would have crawled in the bed with me because they were looking for mom to protect them. See, playing all those little games and shit, if it's happening to you, you did that to you. I didn't do it to you. You said that about you. Ultimately, you ain't say it about me. So there's that portion. Um, Other than that, though, I did get the download. You don't want me to hide how I feel about you no more. Okay. I don't hide it. It's not hiding. It's me being cautious. Because I can't trust everybody around me to no capacity. It be about they're expecting too much, not necessarily me. I'm just trying to get what I need to get so I can go to the next level and make sure I'm able to take care of what needs to be taken care of. A lot of people don't like waiting. I don't have a problem with it. But yes, but that was a highlight, and I got to spend time with both my girls. It had been and my grandbaby, so being able to relax and chill out with them, and it's been it felt good for me to be able to see them, even be comfortable enough, even in their adult selves, to still play like children, right? Because once you become an adult and you're a woman and you have a child, they typically tell you, who gives a shit? You shouldn't have laid on your back. They don't ever consider the circumstances, both energetically and otherwise, that would have come into place. Now, one of the things that pissed me off was that I don't know if it was Corey Black directly or if he was following directions with Cynthia, but the way that he was communicating with my child, thinking that my oldest daughter was the Empress. It's one of those, you stupid son of a bitch. I told you. Yes, my kid would be. All my children would constitute as emperors and empresses because they come from me. See, you motherfuckers like to forget about that part. Y'all forget about that in them damn text messages that you bitches love so much on the underground. But you didn't learn very much. In short, when you put a child above the adult. And that ain't how it's supposed to go. That's repeating another cycle. Yeah, because also, in short, I ain't. Alright, you ain't got to worry about that with us. I'm pretty hip to it. Because when it comes to that kind of fuckery, I don't ever see your face involved in it. Yeah, even if they say he a demon, I don't give a damn. He my demon. How about that? And he gonna hold my halo. But no, seriously though, yeah, they fucked up so bad over these past few years, over the summertime, knowing, and this is the critical thing, and I think I'm gonna title this. You know I love you when I come out and it's hot as hell. That's how you know that I love you. Cause I don't do heat very well. Like period. Soaking it up and all that other stuff is very bothersome for me. I'll go out during the winter time with no problem because it doesn't make my bone. Yeah, for me, it doesn't hurt my bones or nothing like that. It soothes them, the inflammation in them. The heat, though, it increases the inflammation in my body. So that's why I like going out in the winter, and that's why I don't typically like, yeah, not have when I have to, my body has to dispel the coldness in it. I don't, yeah, need an even temperature. You need an even temperature. Yeah, even something that's gonna stay the same for a while. A good climate, basically, is what it boils down to. But now I'm hearing I got you. Okay. But yeah, because it does. I don't, and on top of that, I like to travel. Like I like traveling, but when it's all said and done, it's a matter of having a good traveling partner with you. Like I don't like nobody who call themselves trying to walk faster than me and talking shit the whole time they walking faster than me. But they only walking faster than me because they just started. I don't know if I recorded it or how I recorded it. I don't remember in this moment how I recorded it because I could have recorded it and uploaded it to Instagram, or I could have recorded it and uploaded it on here. Either way, I had cause the red doors church came up, right? And what happened was I made a promise before that snowstorm hit that I was gonna go to church on Sunday. That's what I promised. God got us. So even though it was a snowstorm, I went. I got myself down to that church, and then I walked all the way back. Now, whenever this person who was working for the Pepsi vending Coca-Cola, I don't know, company came, I could have easily said no. I didn't want to walk with him, but I walked with him because he only had on one pair of fucking pants that were thin as hell and jogging pants, and he had no meat on his bones. Okay? Some yeah, the shoes, according to the weather, were flimsy. And that's just the part of my spiritual contract. Because if anything would have happened to him and I had encountered him, it would have been a setup with spirit. Absolutely. And I had enough energy to keep going, even though we were going uphill. Now, true enough, when I got to the gas station, he got me something, but that was what he was supposed to do. Period. He just met me along the way to ensure that he would have been talking to me. I could have told him no. I could have told him just give me the money. But I didn't do that because I was gracious with his pockets and his energy, even though he wasn't gracious with mine. I didn't complain not one time during that situation. But he was complaining about how fast I was walking and all this other shit when he didn't do the stretch and the walk. He just got suddenly inspired to do it when I'm almost at the finish line, and then want to try and make it seem like you're doing a whole lot when I'm already at the finish line. In short, I had been doing the walk long before I ever met Cynthia, Corey, Lightning, Sharika, Mocha, Nicole, Tammy, Kaiser. I had been doing this shit well before I ever met them. And what I would have liked to have happened, and I've stated this several times before now, what I would have liked to have happened is that it would have been a good rapport and a parting in the facet of loving departures. So that way, when I continue to elevate, you would have brought them with you. I would have. They knew that though. They figured, why the fuck do I need you to bring me with you, quote unquote, when I can just take it from you? And then now they see they can't just take it from me, and there are consequences to it. It's a problem for them. That's why it's one of those. All you motherfuckers knew what was going on. You just didn't want to have balls and gall enough. Just come and ask me yourself, which is very bothersome. Because the claim that kept coming into place is about me being intimidating. I don't understand, nor do I understand. I just heard somebody say, you are intimidating. No, I'm not intimidating. I'm quiet. You can't control me. That's not intimidation. That is not intimidation. Because you can't control me and get whatever the hell you want out of me. If you see it as intimidation, that's because you're coming from the hurt place and space where your attacker abused you. Because there's nothing intimidating about a person who walks up and down the damn street saying good morning to everybody and singing, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Or even when they come into any type of venue, they simply say, hey, everybody, how y'all doing? That's not intimidating at all. That's called being friendly. But you wouldn't constitute it as me being intimidating. If I'm trying to fuck you, you need to get y'all. Yeah, if I'm trying to lay bed you, you motherfuckers need to get your shit together. Yeah, y'all is bass backwards. You claim to want to manifest people around you that are manifestors like you and who are confident like you, but then you shrink your light all because another light is around when the reality is you shine your light in the dark corners to make life better for the people living there. You see that the light is going down, so you come to add your light to it. This is going to be kind of like, it gives the feel of Hanukkah. When you would be in distress, you send up the signal, and God is to send somebody to help you be able to carry on. And opposed to you just wanting to carry on, you just want to take everything from them. And then you wonder why you burn out because you're exerting too much energy trying to take a light that wasn't yours when yours was supposed to be getting replenished, and that other light is supposed to move to the next space to help you move to the next space. It's the same as this must be, I don't know, this must be a past life situation that's kind of coming into place with. No, I never slept with Jeremy. I don't want him. No, thank you. I don't want nothing that nobody I know done touched. They knew that a long damn time ago. Had the same situation go on, yeah, with family and everybody. Baby, I don't want shit you didn't touch. That's another reason why I don't want to deal with nobody in St. Louis. And why it is I talk to the people on the level I talk to, because I know they not, yeah, they want too much in regards to that. No, thank you. But what it's giving is if you walking through an old house with a candle holder, and then your candle is about to go out, and you come upon another candle that you could switch them out, and so the wind isn't burning that candle out. You put the candle down that's then burned down a little bit, and you pick the candle up that's not as burned down, and that, yeah, and has a better flow of burning, so to speak. But ultimately, when it was all done and said, it don't matter what it was that took place in the ethers. It wasn't respected on the quote unquote person that y'all claim is supposed to be the dominant party. He's supposed to be the man in the situation, and he wasn't acting like a man at all. He wasn't even acting like a little boy. He was acting like a piece of bacteria under the scum. And it was because somebody told him to. And every time it happened, I called him out on it, and he didn't shift it just to change. So when it comes to the submission aspect, it says wives submit to your husbands, but it also say husbands submit to your wives. Don't go to the good book, quote unquote, as you call it, because obviously you don't agree with it. You can't withstand picking up and carrying your cross. You want me to keep carrying it for you, in addition to mine and everybody else's. When I already made sure that you had a way to not only carry yours, but that your ancestors were taken care of, so they can let theirs down too. Because that's a part of my spiritual contract. Y'all didn't obviously actually go and talk to who you need to talk to about the spiritual aspects. I already knew that. Because you played too many games. And you felt like, oh my goodness, how is she able to do all this? Don't worry about how it is God made me. God made me. God has made me. Don't worry about how I got made. You just worry about how it is you got made. I heard what you talk about, girl. What you say. Ultimately, what I'm saying is this: by night one way, by day another. In short, now I'm hearing my monster. At night, don't try and play with me in the dark. I created what I needed to in the darkness to battle and stand in the dark aspect. Part one, part two. What you see as darkness, I see as inner earth. So of course it's gonna look different. To me. You don't have to agree with it, but it's supposed to look different to me. It's not supposed to look the same as what somebody else identifies, but that's because I did what I was told to. I studied. And I didn't just study in one arena. I studied in every arena, and I keep perfecting in each arena and allowing myself to gain more knowledge in every aspect so that I know how to conduct myself, period. Now, because somebody who was coming to me was D Nice. He was coming to me a lot. I think I might look on his page if I haven't blocked him. No, I say that because some people got blocked because they were genuinely just being energy vampires. Other people got blocked because I know the networking scheme it is that was going on. And it's one of those, okay, I can't look on her page. Can you look on her page for me? And I didn't want them to be caught up in no bullshit because of somebody else's foolishness. In short, the means by which I protect people, I don't have to explain it to you. Because if it's meant for me to meet him, me to meet him in 3D, not just through the telepathic communication, that'll be what happens. And the sad thing about it is that I have to say if I meet them. I'm unfortunately still doing away with the mentality. Yeah, the sabotage mentality that was placed upon me, not that I did to myself. Intentionally. Unintentionally, I sabotaged myself because I was too loyal to people that I should have cut off the first damn time. I shouldn't have gave them grace. I shouldn't have been merciful. I shouldn't have been sweet. I shouldn't have been kind for as long as I was. And as far as my nucleus and immediate extended family goes, um, they still got a whole bunch of shit it is that they have to do. I just have, yeah, when you understand duty and responsibility, true duty and responsibility, you don't have to really interact with that person. You just got to make sure you do what you're supposed to do so that they okay on the energetic sense. So there's that. The other thing that they kept trying, what really upset me throughout the ordeal and the debacle was the fact that I disclosed my book to Cynthia and she stole the story, and Corey, and the things he put in place would have had it be reenacted, ultimately that I would get gang raped like I was when I was a child. I didn't know. It's okay. You wasn't supposed to know. Because I was moved from house to house to house to house to house. Now that happened because my mom, realistically, she really craved and missed her mom. So she didn't have a model, a respectable model for what motherhood was. So she clung to the person that accepted her in those moments. As she got older, I discussed it with my mom, and now that she's passed away, yes, I do love her a whole lot more than I did when she was alive. I respected her when she was alive. I did appreciate her when she was alive, and I admired her, but I didn't build the connection of love and the way that a lot of people would see it supposed to come into fruition, because I didn't get a lot of hugs. I didn't get a you doing a good job often. Now, part of that, again, is because I'm the oldest child. And when you're the oldest, you typically don't get the pats on the back like that because that's the expectation. You don't get treated human. You get treated like a fucking machine. So in that regard, here's the deal that comes into place with it, because according to what I'm hearing, respect is so much more than love. That's the thing that a lot of people keep fucking up with. People like to throw that love word around a whole lot. And what they really should be saying is, I respect you. That was the first thing. Yes, that's what caught my attention with Monty. It was one of those, he said, I respect you. You respect me? Really? Well, is it okay if I allow you to do what constitutes as disrespectful things to me? The flower, the petals. Yeah, do it. Because some people may constitute that as disrespectful. That's me. I'm trying to keep it light, y'all. I ain't. But yes, I do appreciate him. I do. And then I seen for a few different people how they just walked off stage, dropped the mic and walked off. I was like, you know what? I don't blame you. It's one of those, you know what? This is fucking with my peace. I got something to do tomorrow. I'll see y'all later. And realistically, what it really highlights is the recognition of the illusions, not the opportunity, but the recognition of the illusions and the opportunistic mindset that comes with feeding from someone who has good essence, and how you have to create the boundaries and things of that nature. But ultimately, I hope everybody's enjoying their Juneteenth. I do. If you're not fully aware of what Juneteenth is or what it does, you as an adult have a responsibility to look it up. Educate yourself, especially if you the type that don't like being told what to do. You should educate yourself on it anyway. Don't remain in your ignorance. What I will say is something I'm doing differently. If I don't see my picture posted on somebody's shit, I'm not posting their picture on mine. That's how I got with the last person with trying to help him the hell out. Because everybody knew that I had a genuine affinity towards Corey, including him. And for him to participate in the fuck shit and y'all to back him up and say, oh, he's just shot. That motherfucker, you can't be shot and practicing to that extent or participating with people who practice in that shit. You can't be shy in it. No, thank you. Because I liked him when he didn't have, I liked him better when he was broke. Didn't care for him too much when he got the quote unquote leadership position. Because he forgot where he came from. I, on the other hand, do not. He just didn't like where I come. He don't like Venetians. Basically. He don't like Venetians and he didn't get to the Vulcan portion. Now, on the other hand, the Jupiterians, they a little bit closer to Venus. So they have a better ideal set of what the Venetians are like. I can rock with that. I can't rock with no Martians. Y'all do too much. Big bit of an issue for me. Y'all don't respect the kids or none of that. Yeah, cause once you disrespect it was one thing. I'll be real with y'all. It was one thing when I was being disrespected, but when my kids got dragged into it, it's one of those now you turning me into the masculine essence because you bringing my kids into it, and you know based off of what it is that I told you that I don't have a lot of male support, so you feel like you could just whoop my ass, and now you're saying that you can't just whoop my ass. Now it's a problem. In short, how in the African American community we've taken on the colonization mindset of our oppressors, and within acting in that, we believe ourselves, and I'm saying general, not individual, but one would believe themselves to be not only superior but angelic because they're acting like an oppressor. Angels don't necessarily suppress demons, they fight them. They win, but everybody still has free will choice. And if I'm gathering information correctly, and I have a tendency to do that pretty well, even the demons don't like what constitutes as quote unquote demons don't like you motherfuckers. I said that a long time ago. I don't know about you, but I don't know not one being that wants you to summon them up for some bullshit. They like their peace too. They like to, relax and chill the hell out. And if they looking at the episodes on Earth and seeing how y'all doing shit, I'm going to make, that's why I always put the peace sign. Hey, I'm peaceful. Do what you got to do with these other ones. But this bloodline right here, this soul family, and me trying to make sure I have the right soul family. Because they mixed and matched and blended so much fuck shit. It was ridiculous. Y'all have no idea. Yeah, even with the vibration raising purpose, because that's really what twin flames are intended to do. The 144,000, right, were intended to do was to raise the vibrations so that the earth can go on, and I want to use the word stimulate, but it continue its pulse in its position in the galaxies, multiple galaxies. That's the message it is that keeps being conveyed. But you motherfuckers want to try and tear the damn world apart and all this other shit, thinking that that's what they gonna come here and do, not knowing that you'd have more support from other galaxies, not just the planets. And even within the correlation of things being light years away, we don't see it as it's actually happening. Our technology haven't advanced enough because y'all too busy. Yeah, because y'all too busy trying to bitch and moan about having to do simple stuff like paying reparations, the appropriate reparations, to natives, indigenous people, and African Americans. Y'all don't even want to get that right, but you think you ready for War of the Worlds? Tom Cruise, yeah, Tom Cruise, I know he pissed at y'all. Yeah, LL Cool J too. When you make them type of people mad, you know you done fucked up. And even in that regard, the reason why I can stand on that is because even Tom Cruise, I didn't even seen Teddy Swims do it. These are people that millions of people know. They have no problem with going into a regular establishment and just doing their thing. But you mean to tell me that because you supposedly an Eastern Star, or he's supposed to be a part of the Lions Club International, that he can't come and talk to one person? You're full of shit. And if your answer, somebody looking at somebody and saying, your grandmama mad at you. She should be. Because I made damn sure that I took care of all of them. On the energetic level. That's how you was able to get what you needed to. And I didn't do it so I could pump my chest. I did it to give you a leg up and to show support and to show you what I proverbially, as you egotistical people like to say, what do you bring to the table? Your spirit, your connection, your affinity for life. I remember, and then I'll get off here. Heard you don't have to. I will though, cause I was liking the dreams and stuff I was having. Visions, premonitions, I don't care what it was, I was liking them. Yeah, he let me mess his hair up. Whenever he let me mess his hair up, it's one of those, ooh, he don't feel like being pretty no more. Come here. Let me play in your hair. No, he know what I mean by let me play in his hair, because he the only person that I'll play in his hair like that. If you know, you know. You don't, you don't. But ultimately, the biggest one of the, I knew that it was about to be some insulting shit go on when I had got my first car, and my oldest two kids' dad, before, he didn't want me to go to school, but before all of that happened, he had been shot 5 times. And within him being shot 5 times, there weren't a lot of people around him that could change his bandages. His mama could not, Michelle could not tolerate that shit at all. Yeah, it made her so sick and she would get just debilitated. So I did it. All his other little girlfriends, yeah, they didn't even really want to be around him, didn't even want to check on his ass for real. Yeah, not because I'm hearing Danielle. Even with the chick Danielle, she didn't even, if she wanted to come over, she would have came over. That's the thing. Because it wasn't like I was in his face all the time. She didn't visit at all. Not at his grandmama's house or when he got home. And last I checked, in regards to that, because I was working at the airport, the police didn't show up to tell Danielle at her workspace that Darnell had got shot. The police showed up to the airport to talk to my manager to tell me that he had been injured. See, that's at the root of everything. And then he did away with me because I was a seer, and because I kept trying to tell him even before that, you need to stop hanging around the people you're hanging around because they plotting and planning on you. And the night that that happened, I was walking my friend Vanessa home. He was working at Steak and Shake. And I walked, yeah, I got her to where she needed to be, and then I had to hurry up and tell him what it was I had seen. And two of the people that was with him, they was already talking shit because he was high sitting on the damn bus stop. I told you, don't play that game with me. It ain't nothing that I'm gonna forget. In short, the people it was that I was being nice to, I was being good to on a continuum. They was on bullshit, but that's not gonna stop me from being nice and being good to them because I'm I've always been able to receive dharma behind it. But that also means that I'm not going to intentionally put myself around a bunch of people who have been wrong to me just so I could get dharma. That's self-sabotage. If I'm showing up for people, it's because I know I'm on duty. Period. As her, I love you, ma. I love you, pa. Oh, and that's the other thing. My sisters, right, call, and it's actually only one of my sisters who called my son Poppy, right? I've not ever called my son Poppy or Daddy. What the fuck I look like doing that? I'm too strong in my convictions in that regard. Y'all have no idea how long it took for me to even really sit with Monty and with Mahis with Sphinx. I typically like to call him Sphinx. That's my name for him because we not going to that other stuff. It caused too much issues. But I typically, yeah, it took me a minute to sit with Sphinx to understand, oh shit, this is what he saw modeled as a healthy relationship. It wasn't acting out of the father wounds or none of that. Loop back around and then I could finish this off. Because this was the initial point that was needed to be made about the poetic justice open mic situation and Shakespeare in the Park. I had, first and foremost, I was actually invited to come and perform at that. I had got the little thing, the little notification, event notification sent to me. Okay, I'm only on 10%. But I had the event notification sent to me. So that's part one. Part two, I did the poem with the ending of it being finding the twin flame. Part three, he had his child. I didn't have mine. Meaning I'm bringing what y'all would constitute as dick energy to a heart situation, which was out of alignment. And I went on about my way. It's one of those, this wasn't that. I have kids. My kids should be here just the same as your child is here. And then at the end of that show, though, yeah, he had his assistant who had a car who was supposed to take him around. That's what you pay her for. The fuck? Don't even get me started on how it was they returned them cars late and cost you money on that. So, in any event, at the end of that show, he said, next week is Father's Day. No, don't be screaming no now. He said, the next week is Father's Day. I want you to bring your father. I brought my daddy so that he could meet him. It rained that day. And it was whoever it was that was taking care of the planning portion that met me and had seen that I had my dad with me because that was my Father's Day gift. Regardless of what it is that happened in the past, I still respected my father. My biological one. I still respected him. And I brought him. But I also let Corey know he didn't, just because he's meeting him doesn't mean that I need my dad's approval. Because quiet as kept and truth was told, yeah, my dad didn't have that much of an issue with a person as long as they were giving him something. Regardless of whether or not they were treating me right. And that was proven later on down the line. So, in that regard, do with that information what you will. Have the days you all deserve. I'm closing, sealing, and locking this particular reading or this conversation so that you all can't, reiterate it again. Utilize the information I've presented to you so that you can review your own life. And if you have questions for me in real life, yeah, don't hesitate to ask me the questions while you have me right then and there. And if we need to have a sidebar, so to speak, be brave enough to say, hey, can I have an hour of your time on this day? Set the actual schedule with me. Don't play games with me. And that's for the business aspect. Because if you do it and then you turn around and play games like I didn't went on a date with you, yeah, I'm gonna cut you the fuck off. I'm always feeling slicey. Always. That's just period. But what I will say, outside of that, thank you for wanting to share the heart space with me that I'm in and not wanting to have to take up on all your own money. Yes, Sphinx, I appreciate it. All right, light and love to you guys. Okay? Because see, remember, light work, it ain't like work. It is not like work. It's not like work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work.